Thanks again to all the sponsors. Thanks to all of you for coming out.
Hi, my name's Cassidy.
Hello, Cassidy.
I'm in high school, and
Are you 15?
No, I'm 14. Gonna be 15.
Almost 15.
Yeah. So, I know that for me, like going day to day, I have my bad days, and I know a lot of people do too. But for me, I know that whether it's be your music and many other artists, it helps me a lot, whether I'm feeling down and stuff. And I know it helps out a lot of other people, such as the song Savior, Lost It All, and many other songs, basically almost all the albums. How does it feel like when the fans come up to you saying, thank you so much, like also coming from me, thank you so much for the music, just to help you stay strong? Because I know for me, I'm almost 2 years strong from like self-harm and stuff. So I thank you so much for the music. And I'm almost in tears because this music has helped me so much. So what is it like when fans come up to you saying thank you?
Well, first of all, thank you so much, and thank you for sharing your strength with everybody here. We appreciate that. One of the things that I've tried to be very clear with people about is that it was not my intention ever to write songs for you. And I say that because I didn't want to be disingenuous. I did not want to sit down and write songs for people that I didn't know personally and write about their problems because I don't know their problems. My goal was to write songs that hopefully could connect with people by writing about genuine things that I've gone through or how I felt. When I listened to Springsteen as a kid, it didn't connect to me because I thought that he had taken the time to write about what a 15-year-old in Cincinnati thought about his lyrics. It was more about the fact that, wow, I can connect with that or I could feel that. And so the fact that the music that we have made and the music that I have made in my life has connected and resonated so deeply with so many of you, and like your story means exponentially more to me because I know I didn't sit down to try to pander to everyone. I know that it was genuine from me, and the connection that we have then means a lot more because my words and how I felt about something is something that meant something to you. So I hope that you can keep that with you, and if you're an artist or a writer or anything, please carry that on, and remember not to pander because I know that it can be there, and I know that there's a strong influence of I want to help people, but it can border on helping people as opposed to pandering to people. And I think at the end of the day, just maintain being true to yourself. And I really appreciate the fact that we were able to connect with you so much.
Yeah. And also the music has also wanted me to help like start my own band and stuff. And so far I'm starting my own YouTube. I have my own YouTube channel. And
excellent.
I've covered In the End by you guys. And
oh, cool.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So yeah.
Well, thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you. I just want to say Lost It All is such a good song. Even to this day, still gives me the feels.
Well, Andy knows I've said this like 100 times. But
it does. I love that song.
I think In the End is the Black Veil time capsule song that you know, if you were to beam something into space and say, what does Black Veil Bride sound like?
Yeah.
Hey, what's up, guys? My name is Morgan. I'm actually a student that goes here as well. And Andy, I think this question's mainly directed towards you, but since you had the two projects, both Andy Black and Black Veil Brides, lyrically, do you usually write a lot of words and then find out which set of lyrics goes better with Black Veil Brides or which go with Andy Black?
Yeah, I mean, I think that initially what made, I'm kind of working backwards because what made Andy Black so cathartic and easy was that I felt that everything I was writing was kind of pent up and feelings that I was having and emotions that were ready to be, taken out. Writing this Black Veil record that we're working on now, I'm kind of re-entering the bank of like, what are things that I feel on a more existential level? Because the Andy Black record is much more personal. Every song is literally about shit that I was going through that month or had just happened to me. I'm telling you the actual story, whereas most of what I do with Black Veil is much more, it's meant to be a little bit more ethereal, and it's more stuff that's about a general topic or a general concept. Or how I feel in regards to something. Say I write a song that's a political song. To me, you might not hear it and think it's that way because it's more broad. Whereas on the Andy Black stuff, if I was bummed out and depressed and wanted to go home because I'm homesick on the road or something, I wrote a song about that way. So yeah, I mean, I guess in that way, it was a lot easier for me to do the Andy Black stuff in the way that we did it because it was all just ready, with the moments that were happening.
Okay. All right, great. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
That's a great question.
Thank you. You mentioned the Camel Toe song. He just reiterated that he wrote a song called Camel Toe today.
Who's the lucky band that gets to share in that song?
Sing it! Yeah,
I need a double kick pedal, and I need okay.
That's it. No drums, just a double kick pedal.
And a mandolin, a didgeridoo, and a flute.
I had a band open for us that played didgeridoo on stage.
Was it your own band that opened for yourselves? Because I know you got that new anyway. Hi.
Please ask your question.
I knew I wasn't going to say the word right, so I just went over there.
Yeah, that's all right.
Please ask your question. Just cut right in.
Hey, I saw you when I was peeing too.
Yeah. Okay, when you like listen to music, did you like the music for the lyrics or the actual like instruments? Yeah.
I think it's different. It evolved over time. When I was a kid, I listened to music for the melody. When I was really young, I listened to songs to sing along with them. As I got older, it became, what are they saying? And then I started kind of replicating the ideas and concepts and then writing my own songs. But I think like anybody, when I first heard songs, you know, the reason that I liked Kiss from a Rose by Seal when I was 6 years old wasn't because I thought the lyrics were so deep and meaningful. It was just fun to sing along to it, you know.
It's the hi-hat sound, dude. You're like, the hi-hat sound is incredible. I love that song because of the hi-hat sound.
I have the hi-hat, the actual hi-hat tattooed on my back, full size.
From the
the recording,
song.
yeah.
And you were listening to it, and you were like, that hi-hat needs like a little more sizzle.
I was, yes. I
much
listened to
more
Michael Bolton only for the kick drum sound. That's it. I just love that kick.
Yes.
Thank you for the question.
Thank you.
Hi, this question's for John. I'm a huge fan of your records, like Tracing Back Roots from We Came as Romans, and also the records you've worked on with 5 Seconds of Summer. What are the...
That's just to speak to that point. We Came as Romans, 5 Seconds of Summer, same dude. Like, that couldn't happen back when I was growing up. So thank God we don't have that, like, you know, that happening anymore. You can listen to music for the sake of good music.
And just as you wanted to set the record straight earlier, I want to set my own record straight. I actually don't own any Justin Bieber, but I do have, like, all Cradle of Filth. Go on.
Thank you.
But I agree.
That's a way.
That's
a way
Sorry,
callback.
dude.
It's fine.
Way
This
callback.
Coke is kicking in, so I'm going to probably stop you. I'll probably say 2 words and whatever.
That's cool.
I just spilled all over you. Yeah.
What are kind of like the differences and difficulties of like switching from a band like We Came as Romans to a band like 5 Seconds of Summer, and like the process of writing music with both bands?
I mean, it really is a great question because sonically, it's interesting how a lot of times, like the poppier the band, like the darker the humor and the heavier the drugs. It's weird, and the heavier the band, the more focused and not to say that 5 Seconds of Summer are on drugs by any. Do not quote me on that at all. But you know, for me, it's about like it's about the people in, you know, who's. I'm a singer. I started as a singer in a band, and I always relate first to like lyrics, melodies, and what are we talking about? What's the concept of the song? And once we have that, like the other stuff works itself out because the musicians in most of the bands I work with I've been really lucky to work with amazing musicians. And you know, Josh from We Came as Romans, he had a clear vision of what the record was going to sound like. And I mean, Hope was the first song that we did together for that album, Tracing Back Roots, right? And I had an idea for a melody so that record, I said, because there's such a heavy band, I wrote this melody on piano. I had 3 chords on piano, and I had this like soaring anthemic melody for the chorus of Hope, right? And I came back to Josh and I said, what do you think of this? And I let him do his thing to this melody that I had. And to me, that's what started. There was a spark for that record. You know, 5 Seconds of Summer they're an interesting band because all 4 of them are such great singers, and all 4 of them write as well. And so they write in pairs. So I'll have 2 of them for a day, and then the next day I'll have the other 2 for a day. So it's a whole different style of writing and a different style of recording. But ultimately, it's really whatever we like to write, like what's going on with us. Like we talked about Andy writing that song "Beautiful Pain" about what happened, you know, on his. And it's kind of the same way for most projects. We're trying to talk about what's happening today, in the moment. And that's kind of how we go. And stylistically, the bands play their own music, so it works out.
Thank you.
For me, because they're so rad. All these bands are rad.
Yeah. Cool.
Thank you. That guy looks cool.
Hi, my name's Selma.
Hi, Selma.
Hi. So I'm a music student like myself. I play flute. It seems that no matter how hard you try, or no matter how hard you practice, or how much hours you pour, there's always someone who is better than you without even trying. And, you know, I personally feel that I'm in the marching band, and there's always that one person.
Yeah, and that person's a douche.
Okay. So, like, there's just times where I'm like, why am I doing this? You know, they're better, whatever. I should just, like, quit now. Like, what do you say I should think about? How could I overcome those feelings?
Look,
like,
at the risk of sounding too, like, masturbatory right now, I think I'm an example in some ways of someone who is not the greatest. I was not given the incredible gift of being able to sing beautifully. I can't sing like Rob Halford. I just don't have it.
He sings beautifully.
Yeah, well, you know what I'm saying, like the soaring
Yes.
kind of vocals. Yeah, well, yeah. But do you know what I'm saying? And as a kid, I always just pushed myself to be as great as I could be at anything. I played a lot of sports as a kid, and one of the things was that I always wanted to be, I may not have the most natural skill, but I wanted to be competitive, and I wanted to be great at what I was doing. And so it's just about maintaining and finding your niche. It doesn't really matter. When people listen to the Rolling Stones, they're not mad that they're not hearing beautiful singing. They love what it is, and they love the vibe, and they love the feeling there. Mick Jagger is not going to win American Idol or The Voice or those kind of things, but you can't deny the ability and style there. So just hone your style, find your craft in the way that you play and the way that your feel comes through in the play.
Amen. Kurt Cobain was not a very good guitar player, and he changed the fucking world. So.
And I also want to say that, yeah, you're absolutely. I also want to say that someone taught me early on, this one of my, like, older gen, this mentor guy said, the only handicap in life, this guy had Parkinson's disease, a 70-year-old man. It's the only handicap.
So that's one, or
what's that?
Is that his one handicap? Out of
He said the only handicap is a bad attitude. I mean, that really is the truth that I've experienced in my life. I used to sit next to him when he eats soup. He's like, I'm a really nice guy. Just don't sit next to me while I'm eating soup.
Oh, don't do the impression.
No, he would just do it because he would get the soup. Anyway.
We'll fix that in post.
But I do want to say
just
that.
Cut that out.
I'll take your voice any day over Rob Halford's, by the way. But the truth is that, like, I have people intern for me all the time, and it's like some people are clearly better musicians than I. They come in, these kids that are like just incredible programmers, musicians, but it's like when they come in there and they have this attitude, or it's all about like your attitude, you know, and what you're going to bring into that. That's
and if people want to work with you, I mean, that's really a big thing, is that in the professional community, I know Feldy deals with it all the time. People come in and they could be the best session musician, they could be the best at whatever, but if they're not fun to be around, they won't see another session at that studio. So really just
And I think that's true in
nice.
a lot of professions.
Yeah.
Relationships matter. Show. That was a great question. Thank you. Yes.
Andy, while writing songs for both bands, do you find that the lyrics or the beat were more important?
Well, I mean, you can't, at the end of the day, you have to be proud of what you're saying in the song. So for me as a lyricist, I don't want to listen to a song and feel like I don't believe what I'm saying. But by the same token, if the bed of the song isn't good, then you can write the best lyrics in the world. But if the song sucks, then it's not really worth it. So I think ultimately we, like Feldy said, try to start with something that's worth writing to.
Thank you.
Thanks.
As a mother with him, I just want to say thank you for being a true warrior of youth. You're an
thank you.
inspiration.
Appreciate that.
And whenever you and Feldy get together, a masterpiece happens like Wretched and Divine. So I know this one's going to be great too. Looking forward to it.
Thank you. I really appreciate it. Thank you to both of you guys.
Hell yeah.
That's really wonderful.